Hey everyone, welcome back to ZeldaSpeedRuns for today's coverage of the Link's Awakening DX 100% tournament. Very nice to have you all back here. We've got Swiss round 3 matchup today between spicefather and happywithsugar. Joined on commentary today by Cravone and Zinthro. How are the two of you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
How are you?
Can't complain. Would rather be shrugging off work, but what can you do?
Yeah.
I will go ahead and get this race started, so I will mute, and you two can take it away.
Alright.
So, these races will be racing...
I am not hearing Cravone. You just quickly... Testing.
So these races will be racing 100%. So they're on a timer, 25 seconds to they start. So to explain 100%, what we have to do is we have to get all of the items in the menu, all the item upgrades. So that includes the level 2 shield, for example. It also includes bomb upgrades, arrow upgrades. We have to get all 3 Ocarina songs. We have to get all the seashells and therefore the level 2 sword. Well, not all the seashells, just enough for the level 2 sword. We have to get all the pictures. Now, have I missed anything? And the
basically,
boomerang.
if you can find it in the inventory, like anywhere in the inventory by pressing select or something, like even on that, it'll show you if you have all the heart pieces. Pictures and stuff, then we need to maximize it, or maximizing your inventory, basically. So first thing, you're gonna go get the sword. Every single category of this game starts with getting the sword. Even Ace, the shortest category, you have to get the sword. Literally, the game will not let you do anything else without it.
In Ace,
if you never use it.
In Ace, the path to get the sword is actually what determines whether you get world record or not.
Yeah.
So we're going to see a trick here, which is going to be rupee duping, which is when they use their shield or sword at the same time as picking up a rupee. Now the reason why they want to do this, they want to have 10 rupees by the time they save and quit back to the house, because they need to buy powder. And this is the quickest way to get rupees. This is RNG because the enemies can decide not to drop stuff, and so we see Happy getting decentish RNG on the beach. Spice, not that great. So it looks like they're both going to be mowing the lawn.
There you go. Happy's got 10. 144 is a decent enter shop time. Not it's high threshold. Spice is not getting so lucky here.
So
there you go.
So Happy is probably the more likely to win based on his PB on the leaderboard, but this is going to be a close race either way. They're quite close in times in PBs.
Yeah. You may have noticed from what Happy did. He bought bombs without spending any rupees. But not actually stealing them either. So there's a mechanic in the game that's kind of an oversight, rather, where you can interrupt the rupees counting down. And that allows you to get things for free. It also applies if you open a chest and you interrupt the rupee flow by like doing a save and quit or something. You don't get the rupees from the chest.
It also applies if you die.
You get them if you die?
No, it stops going up or down if you die.
Okay. It's like any interruption whatsoever will affect how you get or spend rupees. So we just take advantage of that by a set of 10 bombs. We get the bomb upgrade right after D2, so we only need 10 bombs.
So we see happywithsugar going into the into the forest now, and he's going to be doing a trick called a bomb trigger. Now, this is probably the most simple spot in the game with the bomb trigger. We have bomb triggers all the way through the game, and it breaks so many things.
Yeah. We even use bomb triggers in places where it's not actually like required, but it just saves time. So we'll do bomb triggers anyway.
So what Happy did there, and that was a bomb trigger. He activated Taran, and we don't know why Taran just stays there. But so when you do a bomb trigger, it advances the game state on that screen. So it advanced that screen to the point where Taran is Taran again, not the raccoon. And the way you do that is you place 2 bombs on alternate frames whilst transitioning, or whilst doing it into a pit.
We've named those Octoroks on Happy's screen after players in this game.
Oh dear, I hope I'm not one of them.
You're not one of them.
Let me guess,
They're
the people
named
that
after
usually
French
run
runners.
into them.
No, it's just named after other French runners.
Oh dear. I mean, there's enough of them. French runners, that is. Probably not enough Octorok, let's be honest. So, we see, we've seen Happy get 3 seashells now, and Spice, he's only got 2 so far. Abby's about to be getting a 3rd one. So the seashell routing in 100% is very, very specific, because there is a room in the overworld called the Seashell Mansion. And what that does is, when you enter it, if you have 5 or 10 seashells, it will give you an extra seashell, but you have to have exactly 5 or exactly 10. So
Happy playing it risky there.
Those
Those traps do 1 heart of damage. If he took a hit there, he died. But he didn't, so he's still maintaining a healthy lead.
So
But here comes the super jump. This is what makes the feather the most broken item in the game. You can trick the game into thinking that you're on a ledge by doing a jump and then like kind of pushing back into the wall and then using an item to change your direction, and it'll actually make you jump off this imaginary ledge and allow you to like basically launch yourself over things that are like 2 blocks away, like this key block. That skips a key. Some other weird super jump to get back up, and I don't understand how this one works. Spice's screen here. Just for whatever reason, that super jump works. Even though there's no ledge.
It's flock. Well, no, actually, no, it's not really a flock clip, is it?
No.
I'm not sure anyone really understands how that one works.
I don't even
It
know
must
how
be
we
to do with
found
the
it.
key block.
Yeah, it could be the key block. Here's the hardest boss in the game. No exaggeration. He kills so many runs by just trolling you. We call him Trolldorm.
So Spice by the end of D1 is around 15-20 seconds behind.
Yeah, from here, there's not really much in the way of tricks until after D2. I mean, D2 has a few things here and there, but there's no like major glitches or anything terribly difficult.
The run
But,
usually really opens up in the middle of the run.
yeah.
That's where all the time is won or lost.
Yeah, once you get boots, especially, using boots optimally is actually quite challenging because movements can be pretty specific on what is the fastest movement. Really adds up. Like things that can save a 1/10 of a second. There's all kinds of places like that, and it adds up to like literally minutes.
So we saw Happy just there do a bomb trigger to get a heart piece, and this is another way we can we can use bomb triggers.
Spice
There's so
doing
many
a
ways.
speedrun
Yeah.
instead. The bomb trigger only saves time if you don't need to do an extra buffer. So a lot of players just opt to not go for it, myself included. And plus, it saves a couple bombs, and if you do the bomb trigger, bomb count can be pretty tight in D2. Especially if you end up getting the owl bomb trigger to get a tail key.
So
We need to get the we need to talk to the mouse before getting Bow Wow because the guy just won't talk to us if we have any followers. Mouse is how we get pictures.
if you forget to talk to the mouse before getting Bow Wow, it is disastrous for the run.
Yeah.
There is maybe 1 point. There's 1 point in the run after D2 where you would be able to talk to the mouse again, but past that you'd end up missing pictures.
It'd make it way harder to get Piece of Power in D3 as well because Bow Wow, when Bow Wow eats mobs, that counts towards the Piece of Power count. And we'll get into that when we get to D3 and how all that works.
Well, happy getting an instant enter D2. So Bow Wow, there's some RNG on how quick he's gonna eat the flower, and he needs to eat the flower before you get into Dungeon 2. Sometimes he does it straight away, sometimes you can be waiting even a minute to get in.
Wish I got that Stolfos RNG more often. Doesn't get in the way as much. So Happy's taking the arrow saving route. Really is only like half a second slower or so. But saving an arrow can be pretty important, especially arrow count can get pretty tight depending on how many arrows you choose to use in D1 and whatnot. We need to have at least 3 arrows going into D4. Well, actually, really at least 2, just because the anglerfish is so much faster if you just shoot a couple bomb arrows at him.
So we see Happy doing the bracelet room. Casually, you'd have to use the powder to light the pots to scare the ghosts away. But we found a trick where you can just shoot an arrow and fire them both off screen. Saves quite a bit of time.
You can also slash your sword at them, but it's a little slower.
Yeah.
And uses an extra equip as well. Ooh, that Stolfos getting in the way.
Oh,
and he kills the Stolfos!
Happy has to reset the room. This room, if you've played this game casually, you'll know this room has a set order in which you have to kill the enemies to get the key. And that Stolfos trolls a lot.
Yeah, Trollfos.
I've also seen a runner before score a field goal through the ears of the Paul's voice. As in, he threw the pot, and the pot just went straight through and didn't kill him.
Through the Pole's voice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You can.
Oh yeah, I think that can happen sometimes. Like if he's jumping for whatever reason, like the pot just it's a lot easier to hit him if you're like right in front of him and you're above him. But if you're to the left or the right, it's a little more finicky.
So we see Happy on the genie. Now the genie has a 2-part quick kill, which we can see here. He uses wall clip. And the game doesn't really know how to handle the bottle being inside a wall, so it just breaks a bottle. Then we use bombs and a position with a bomb arrow on the wall to get the final 2 hits on the genie. It's almost like the devs didn't intend people to put things into walls.
I think we're doing a lot of things that the devs did not intend.
I still think they intended bomb triggers.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Maybe they were speedrunners at heart.
Yeah. They looked into the future and like, people are gonna want to play this as fast as possible. Let's give them a few little tricks and only put it on Japanese 1.0.
I mean, if you're a game developer, you might slip something in.
Yeah. Nowadays, game developers are actually like making games that are designed to be speedrun. Pretty incredible because like they're like adding all kinds of little hidden things and stuff like that, and finding ways like Celeste, I think, and Cuphead. I think they had the intention of making that a speed game.
Celeste
New people with speedrun it. So it's pretty cool that like since speedruns become a thing, we're seeing more and more games like actually being designed to be played quickly. Oh, unlucky acorn drop there. But fortunately, he needed to do an equip anyway, so he actually didn't really lose much in the way of time.
Doesn't ruin his peace powering because he's saving quits as well.
Yeah.
So we saw both of them go into one of the upgrade shrines. There are 3 of these shrines in the game, and in each of them you can pick between powder, bombs, and arrows. So here we pick bombs because bombs it fills up our count of bombs to begin with, and it gives us 60. So it means we don't have to worry about bombs for the rest of the run. We've got enough.
Yeah, there's an upgrade in D7 that's on the way that a lot of players just pick up because, you know, why not? It's right there. Oh yeah, and with that, with the upgrades, you always want to select the second option, or else you end up upgrading powder, and that really screws things up. You pretty much have to go back to the shop in the village to get bombs.
Oh, you mean they just remembered that's the no option? I thought they could all read Japanese.
Well, I guess we do know what no looks like in Japanese now.
I guess so. Unless they
Actually,
phrase
I
it
think
a different way.
In English, it's no. So I wonder if it's the equivalent of that in Japanese.
So, both of them getting the richer picture. This is the one that can be missed if you miss the mouse early on. So
yeah, like if you screw up getting the mouse, if you get Bow Wow before the mouse, you have to drop off Bow Wow after D2, or else, because like as soon as you get the slime key, you can't get the richer picture anymore.
So we see both runners going to Seashell Mansion with 5 seashells, getting their 6th. So they'll still be routing their seashell route so that they come back at 10 seashells as well. And then,
D3 will be coming back to it. Here's Villa Skip. You saw Happy already do it. If you pause on the same frame that you fall into the pit, the game shifts you down a little bit, and it actually shifts you onto the transition and allows you to you just push down and you have just completely skipped Candlelit Castle, which is so much time save. Ooh, Spice really risking getting in the transition there. If he were to transition before picking up while picking up the key, which appears like a leaf for some reason, that's a soft lock and just completely screws everything up.
The only way
pretty much have to do a hard reset.
No,
Would a hard reset
he would still be able to get the key, but he would have to do all the leaves to do so. It would turn the last leaf into the key.
Wouldn't a hard reset just be faster though? Or does it actually like?
I mean, yeah, it would be faster because he's saving quit quite recently after the Seashell Mansion.
During last Sunday he did that. We learned a new thing. Alpha, I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Like you can't do a hard reset if you get the key?
I think he means the leaves.
Leaf transition text skip.
Okay, it sounds like he managed to activate super speed somehow. Okay, so yeah, excuse me there. Okay, so Happy getting. I mean, it looked like he got both Acorn and Piece of Power at the same time.
Yeah, and if that happens,
it,
better hope you get the piece of power.
I didn't know whether it was 50-50 or always Piece of Power.
Turns out it's not always piece of power. I've gotten it. I've gotten Acorn before picking up both at the same time. Ooh, Spice getting piece of power early. Extra kills.
So
there's the Dongo skip. You can do go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so the Dongo skip is basically it's a sword out super jump. So like I explained earlier, you need to use a weapon during a super jump to face yourself away from the wall. Because when you set up the super jump, you need to be pushed. You need to be clipped into the wall, and then face toward the wall, push into the wall, and then face outward away from it. Those are the inputs you need to do to complete a super jump. But if you have your sword already out, you're already facing away from the wall, so you don't need to set that up. You don't need to go push into the wall for that part, but you do need to push back into the wall. But we need a charged sword. The reason we do a sword is because we need a charged sword, because as soon as we do the super jump, we need to release the spin slash, and that will clink off the Dodongo and push us over the wall. It's pretty challenging to do at first. Once you get the muscle memory for it, though, it's easy peasy.
So both of them killing
Both these players make good work of it.
We saw Happy with Sugar playing it a bit dangerous with his hearts there.
Yeah. Spice just got a gold.
We got early piece of power, maybe that was why. Although it wouldn't give him 4 seconds.
Yeah.
One room early.
I think he just played really well. So he's got a little internet trouble there. Just cut. Is it my internet, maybe?
No, he's dropped for me as well.
Refresh this.
So we see Happy still picking up seashells. He'll be going to the seashell mansion again very soon. So now he has 10 seashells, so he's going to get the extra seashell. Corin calling him Spicefather. That would be another name for him. He's already got 2 as it is.
Spicefather, Space Otter, Splicefather, Splice Otter. Got a 4th one.
Space Father Otter.
For the record, he's not splicing.
No.
He's just having internet troubles.
It's an inside joke we have. And he's back. So we see Happy talking to the walrus guy. We didn't even explain the stick.
Yeah.
But okay, so they do D3. They talk to Taran and they have the stick. Because they completed D3 and the game's code did very well. So
yeah, the game thinks you did Canela Castle. You have to have the stick to get into Canela Castle. And if you get the slime key, well, you must have done Canela Castle. And so the game just assumes that you've done D3. You've done Canela Castle, you must have the stick.
They didn't know Jesus with jumping was a thing, apparently, as well. You could get to Canada Castle that way.
Oh,
So,
I suppose he could, yeah. Huh.
yep, from the top. So, yeah, so they get the pineapple at the bear's house, and what this does, they wouldn't normally need to do this because they can bomb trigger the walrus, but this is the trigger that puts Marin on the beach, and they have to get Marin to then take 3 pictures for the 100% run.
That's the only reason to get Marin.
And if
Otherwise, we leave her.
if they skip Marin, like at all, and Marin is no longer at the beach, can't complete the 100% run.
Yeah, and if you drop off Marin, like if you talk to the walrus and you drop off Marin and don't get the pictures, again, your run's dead. There's all kinds of the route is so precise because of the way flags work in this game. For example, you have to get the Richard picture before you get the slime key, because the slime key is apparently what triggers you not getting the Richard picture anymore. Probably something to do with the fact that you've already talked to Richard and the way the story works and stuff.
So we see both of them doing a bit of fishing. So you always want to let the first fish go, because it's always going to block you getting the fish you want. And this big fish has a heart piece, so this is why we do this. I wonder if either of these runners run the full category for Fish to the Pond. It's a very important category. I don't know if you've tried it, Zen?
Fish to Pond, yeah. I actually have second place in it.
Oh, nice. Most important category.
Yeah. Nitros was just doing it the other day. He beat Dragon, and that was his goal.
I need to run it again.
It actually is a pretty fun category. It's so short, but it's a real challenge because it's so short. You have to be extremely precise.
It's basically the mashing category.
Yeah.
That you still need to sword for.
If you want to practice really tight movements and mashing in one category, that's the one for you. As well as getting through text quickly. Because believe it or not, even getting through text slowly actually adds up a lot. Both of them are getting the seashell from underneath. But they can do it from the right side. If they do it that way, then the seashell will pop up on the left side, and they can just keep their dash going up through the transition.
So we see Happy collecting Marin. Now he's going to take the first picture of Marin. Spice getting the nut grab.
He didn't get the true nut grab.
No.
2 nut grabs. There's one with bracelet and one without. One with bracelet is way more swag. But it's also slower.
Now,
You gotta save them frames.
if you grew up with the LADX version and not the LA version and you have pictures, this is the one you missed. The one the one on the beach. Because how on earth do you know to go there with Marin?
Yeah, you can find the rooster one because you probably just walked by the rooster and accidentally found it. But yeah, who thinks to go to the beach on that specific ledge?
And as for the well, you've already gone to the well most likely.
Yeah, you knew there was a heart piece there. Notice our players are saving and quitting a lot. When you leave certain buildings, you set save points, and sometimes we will enter a phone booth or something, and that's just to set a save point so that we can it just to save a little time later by just quickly doing a save and quit, and we are back at a closer location that we need to go to. Like we saw that before D3 after getting the first seashell mentioned seashell. Say that 5 times fast.
Now, in the run, there's actually one exception to this. The seashell mention, because it's a 2D section, does not count as you entering a building, which is why our runners were able to save and quit from that to another building. There's one other instance of this in the game, but we don't see it in the speedrun.
Is that the one by Canelet?
Yeah.
I think there's stairs, that leads to a 2D section. And
Don't
we
know
completely
if
skip Canelet.
Mambo counts.
Mambo,
You come out in the cave.
yeah. Mambo is a 2D section. It probably doesn't count. No, it wouldn't, because we save and quit from Mambo to D4.
Yeah, okay, so that's the second time we see it in the run. So, bomb triggers, doing things. On one screen we've got getting a heart from the bomb trigger. The other
Just
we've
noticed-
got bomb trigger in the walrus save frames.
Happy got a gold. It's always exciting to see gold splits. So
Now
we could use just have Marin talk to the walrus, but there's more text, and also the cutscene ends a little sooner because as soon as Marin leaves the screen, the cutscene ends because we're already on the left side of the cutscene. We save time.
So, you might have seen Happy fire 2 arrows into the sand just now. So on that screen, if you fire 2 arrows in tribute, you get a free key. I mean,
No mini boss
there's
there.
definitely no mini boss on that screen. If I don't see it, it's not there. One day someone will mess that up and miss an arrow.
Like that.
And we get a text box. That text
I
box
have-
says, fire 2 arrows, get a key.
I have missed arrows on that before. Just like pressing the wrong directional input and just completely screwing everything up. And because arrow count is tight, it's like it almost kills your run.
The time when you see it is when you play rando and you don't have the bow yet. You have to actually fire La Mola,
Yeah.
which is still super easy.
But Lemola can be killed with the fire rod as well, or the magic rod. And there's kind of a newish category called No Wrong Work, which is a 100% category where you do get the magic rod really early in the game. And so we just use that to kill most of the bosses. Including the Armos Knight.
So Happy getting the first song of the yeah, that is the first song in the run.
Alright, while Spice is listening, we're gonna want to be silent for this, so I'm gonna get some more water. We'll be right back.
Now, what this song does in the speedrun is it activates hard mode in the menu, because we never use this song, but what it now does is that the ocarina in the menu will mean that you can't use left and right if you're hovering over it. So you have to go up and down to exit the ocarina screen in the menu, which is a bit of a pain.
Oh, I missed the French monk.
Oh, you saw one of them now.
Easy one.
So this is actually a new addition to the category. We used to go to Dungeon 4 and get the warp after Dungeon 2, but we found, well, some French runners have found that this is quicker to go into that cave, set a save and quit point, and then go open the key this way. Open Dungeon 4.
I think it was Vlak actually who found it to be faster.
Was it Vlak?
I kind of recall hearing Vlak's name when I first learned about this route. I'm not 100% sure. Somebody in the comments maybe could confirm that.
I don't know. It seems everything's found by the French runners.
Yeah. If it's not found by the French, it's found by Vlak.
Yeah.
He's contributed a ton to this game.
Well, he holds a world record in, what used to be the main category. So,
yeah.
Happy with Sugar getting glowing butt sword, but more importantly is we're going to see early rooster skip.
Best rooster skip. Oh, we're not seeing it from Spicefather though.
Yeah,
He's gonna be doing regular, normal rooster skip.
So you know if they're going to do early rooster skip or not by where they enter to set the save and quit point.
Ooh, boy, he better
Close.
immediately do some start buffers. We got a 1 buffer?
Wow.
Please make it, please make it. Nice!
Okay,
that literally is the fastest you can do it. Like, unless if you didn't use shovel or it just did it like without the shovel, which is really hard to do. That is a gold probably. Oh yeah. No, it's not a gold. Wow, that wasn't a gold? How is that not a gold?
But that's a massive improvement on his PB. Dude, he's now on PB pace because of that.
That was insane.
So, early rooster skip is very costly if you mess it up. Although, fortunately, they have a save and quit point, so if they mess up, they hard reset and reload.
You don't get that with the normal rooster skip because
you don't save and quit in the cave.
Yeah, you could do a safety save and quit. But I like early rooster skip because it's earlier in the run. If you mess it up, you don't waste as much time. It's also easier than unbuffered rooster skip, which is the way Spice is going to be doing it.
I prefer unbuffered rooster skip. Actually, I prefer my buffer of rooster skip. I use map buffering.
Map buffering?
Yep.
Interesting.
It's a very, very old route, very old version of the buffer method. And it's not consistent by any chance, by any stretch.
Spice getting the... was that the slow pattern? Couldn't tell.
I'm not sure.
The Happy's doing the easier method to get the Nightmare Key. There's a much harder method that kind of does the same thing as the Dongo Skip, where you do a sword out super jump to clink off this pea hat, and then you do another super jump, like Spice is doing like that, to, again, clink off the pea hat. So you need to be pretty quick with it. You clink off the pea hat twice, and it gets you up there, and it saves 4 seconds. So it's a pretty decent time save. Spice is really catching up. Or, no, that's because he didn't do a reverse skip. Ooh, he misses the bomb arrows. Unfortunately, he has a couple extra arrows.
So, now, it looks like Spice is caught up a little bit, with Happy still ahead, but remember, Happy has done Rooster Skip. Spice still has Rooster Skip to do. Okay, so...
We're getting Mambo soon. We definitely need to let people enjoy that.
It's not a real song.
No, it's not a song, I agree.
Wait, I was having a conversation with someone that said it's a song because it has one lyric.
Yeah, but are they actually singing it?
So the Japanese translation of that is O. So there's some people in chat that for some reason think Mambo is the best song. They're wrong. We'll see best song in a bit.
There's a constant debate on what is the best song, and I'm trying to convince everybody that Mambo isn't even a song at all, because nothing's actually sung. There's just O, which is spoken. Well, at least for the frog song, like, they're actually singing.
Yeah. Well, Mambo is actually the only song we use on the Ocarina at any point during the run. Because it teleports us to Crazy Tracy's house.
Unless we're doing Death Eye Skip. I think both... Does Happy do Death Eye Skip? I don't think Happy does Death Eye Skip. But I'm pretty sure Spice does.
If they do Death Eye Skip, I mean, it's not really using the song, it's just not using the wrong song.
Yeah, you can use Mambo's Mambo for Death Eye Skip, and it'll freeze the bat, but you'll also teleport to the beginning of the egg.
So,
which has happened to me before.
it's a Death Eye Skip, but it's also a you skip, as in the boss skips you.
Just imagine getting a perfect nightmare and then having to do the whole fight again. Maybe not getting the mermaid skip, just like a frame late. Oh, Spike's not getting it either.
So, Happy doing one of the hardest tricks in the run. So this is Aura Bomb. Ooh.
A little early. Not terribly punishing.
And the ghost is talking to him.
Okay, there you go. Oh, he's in the right spot. Easy. He is good. Just needs to boots across, and he's got it.
Okay, so
for me, that's the hardest trick. I hate that trick so much.
I'd say it's between this ERS and early hookshot.
Early hookshot is just random.
Yeah, true. Oh, we get the tone. The bad tone from Spice's Green.
Bad tone?
Yeah, it did the tone.
Oh.
No, that's Mambo.
I didn't know that was called the bad tone. So Spice is doing a buffered Zora bump, which makes it considerably easier, but a little bit slower.
Each buffer wastes 2 seconds.
Well, the map buffers are a little under 2. They're a smidge slower. It's like a 1.75 seconds or something like that. But essentially, it still wastes a lot of time.
So the significance of getting magnifying glass now, before we get the hookshot, is that we can now get the boomerang before Dungeon 5, and therefore allow us to do early hookshot in Dungeon 5, which will end up saving minutes. It's also sort of nice for routing to give back the ghost here as well.
Yeah. What I really like about the Hundo route also is not only is it like seem really precise, but it also just feels like everything works out really well. I find there's not too much backtracking involved. You kind of go like where you need to go just at the right time.
Now,
I just found a little jumping spider.
We could skip the ghost. However, as with Marin, we need a picture. So we have to complete the ghost side quest.
And he's really slow.
He... Happy knocking the monkey off the tree. Don't know if he intended to do that. So we're gonna see... So, Okay, so this section of the run is sort of like a big collectathon part. We're going to see Happy about to get the second upgrade in the game, which is going to be the arrow upgrade.
Just like with the bombs, you want to select the second option. The option is always powder. And again, if you screw it up, you gotta go to the village.
So, the funny thing is, when they get these upgrades, that effectively means that's the end of that item routing.
So many extra arrows at this point that you can actually kill the Armos Knight with arrows instead of sword, and just you can waste so many of them, and you'll never run out.
We see them both equipping Ocarina here to Mambo to Crazy Tracy's house. This is very close to where you need to give back the ghost. So they're also going to be getting a picture from the ghost, and they're going to be getting a heart piece. Now the heart piece is going to be pretty spectacular how they get it.
Yeah. And it also happens to be right next to D0, so our next dungeon is actually gonna be the color dungeon. Because we're in the area.
And the tunic is required for the hundo.
Yep. And unfortunately we're not allowed to go out of bounds, so we have to do the entire thing. Which means we have to do the bingo room. And you'll see the bingo room. Bingo room is the most annoying room in the entire dungeon, and it just requires a lot of adapting to the RNG of where the what are called orb monsters move. There you go. Happy getting the heart piece through the rocks.
The boomerang is well coded like the rest of this game. Does he have an explanation for how that works?
It's such an insanely useful item for so many things.
And it's got zoom range.
Spice getting it too. If you miss it, or if like you're too high or something, the boomerang will just hit the rock, and then you have to go up and push the rock. But you can still get the heart piece. Yeah, you can still get it through the rock. You just have to push it first. Not really that much of a time loss. Yeah, any time loss is still a time loss. That is always frustrating.
So here we're seeing
right. Oh, I didn't need to get an extra.
Here we're seeing a unique room in the DX version. So this rupee room that we've seen on Happy and now we're seeing on Spice. This is one of a kind in that this is the only room that we hard reset for in the run. And the reason being that for some reason they code that room into the RAM, and they basically code this entire dungeon onto its own sort of plane of existence. I've forgotten the right word for it. But this means that even if we save and quit, it will remember how many rupees are still in that room. The only way to reset that room is to hard reset. And they need that room to get the rupees for the frog song. They need to have 300 by the time they exit this mini dungeon. Fortunately,
when you get the nightmare key, you need to do a save and quit anyway to get back to the entrance. It's a little bit faster to go back by the room, so it's really convenient in that way. And we need to get these rupees for the frog song, of course. There's no way to get the frog song without them. It would be amazing if we could find some skip that just gives us the frog song. Is he gonna get damage boost? Nope. That, I don't know what that's called, a skull fairy or something? Here's the bingo room. So you need to shoot these guys into the corresponding colors. Ooh, Happy getting pretty quick one there. There's all kinds of ways of doing it. I recently found a kind of a somewhat reliable method to doing it, but it's still a lot of adapting involved.
If there's one rule for the bingo room, it's that there is no such thing as good RNG in that room.
Yeah. This boss is also one that can just completely screw you. Like he can move. He got good RNG there by the boss moving up and down instead of left and right. But he can also throw these things that we call fidget spinners. That's what they look like, and they just get in the way of your arrows. And that's all they do. They just waste time.
He also tries to interrupt you with text boxes. I don't think anyone in the entire community, even Tompa, understands how this boss works or why it works. Or why he spawns Stalfos as well.
Yeah. He really is the most confusing boss. Try killing him casually and try to figure out what the heck it's trying to say. Something about like red means stop, green means hit faster or something. And it's like, what?
I mean, let's be honest, if you're playing this casually, you'd be using arrows in the same way as our runners. You wouldn't even experience the boss properly either.
And I never thought about using arrows when I played casually. It was only when I started speedrunning that I was like, oh yeah, you can kill this guy with arrows.
Okay, Happy not activating the thing under the bush. It's interesting. So
Yeah,
this
you
is the
can clip it
signpost.
in this one.
This is the signpost maze, and it's everyone's favorite part of the run because you can't mash text. You can't press either button too close to one of these signs you've already talked to. It's a very easy way to mess up something and lose yourself 45 seconds or a minute.
There's also this really dumb jump that's coming up on Spice's screen. Where normally you would need the hook shot, but you can do a diagonal jump where like you press the a sideways direction from where you're going during a dash jump, and you'll move up or down.
So,
and that allows you to skip.
Happy not running out of the stairs. Shout to Matt.
Yes, it is absolutely terrible. If you leave the screen when the stairs spawn, the stairs disappear. Or if you just leave the stairs after entering, the stairs disappear, and you have to do the whole signpost maze again.
So,
and as you can see, it takes a little bit of time to do the whole thing.
We have to be quiet because this is the best song.
It is.
I have to admit, on Spice's screen, it just looks visually awful. But it's best song, so we don't talk about that. So we see Happy is going to get a heart piece that's in the moat of the castle. I don't understand how anyone could find this casually. There is nowhere in the game that tells you that there's a heart piece in there.
I've had like last year before I started running this game, I played it through casually, and I just happened to. I thought to myself, this moat goes somewhere, and I was like, there's got to be something in the water. I bet there's a heart piece in the water, and I was right.
Wow!
And I was so proud of myself, and I feel more proud every time I learn that nobody else found it. Yeah, it really is a hard piece to find, though. Same with a bunch of others, like the one in the desert. How are you supposed to know there's a bombable wall there?
I think the devs just expect you to clink off every wall in the entire game.
Spice going into the wrong building.
So Spice goat moding. I think he did that intentionally.
Was that? Oh,
I think he memed there.
that room is part of that screen was actually part of the trading sequence, but we skipped almost all of that by sequence breaking this game immensely.
Shoutouts to the rando community.
A little hidden seashell in the Armos maze here. This Armos maze is a pain. It's just like the Zols get in the way, the Armos get in the way, and it's pretty hard to do fast without rushing. And then you have this mini boss at the end of it to get the face key.
So incidentally,
And we're gonna see Aerostrats from Happy. Aerostrats is just, if you do it optimally, it's just a smidge faster than using Boots and Sword. Yeah, that's a pretty good kill.
incidentally, the seashell.
If you do it right. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the seashell they get here is the last seashell they get in the run.
Yeah. So both of them have 20 seashells now, and right after D6 they're gonna go get the level 2 sword upgrade, because it just happens to be on the way to D5.
So we'll see another method from Spice. This is called bootstraps.
He's a little bit... Oh, he's just barely high enough. The reason Aerostress is a bit faster is you can actually kill them like almost clipped into the wall and right against the door. So you save a little travel time as well. But Bootstraps also looks really cool.
Everyone does a different bootstraps as well. Everyone's
Yeah,
got their own
there's
unique
it's
one.
like 5 different ways of doing it, right? Alright, so Happy's entering D6. D6 is by far one of the most broken dungeons because of super jumps. As you'll see, first we need to get the level 2 bracelet though. Because not only is it just required to even progress in the dungeon, but it's also, well, it's part of the 100% requirement.
So,
Shout out to Zorlax jump.
so what you would have heard in Zin's background is the police arriving to arrest Happy for going too fast.
I closed my window a little bit too, but I guess I didn't close it enough. I think it was probably an ambulance. There's a little ambulance station nearby my apartment.
So, Happy's going to bomb trigger this,
Interesting
and
method
he
of
doesn't
display.
get it. So you can actually bomb trigger this room, and it makes it start faster.
Yeah, like a second.
Happy missed it, so...
There's an easier way of setting it up if you can kind of buffer it. You can set up the equip right as just before you're about to transition. But there's kind of a slightly faster way of getting to the bracelet that makes that non-optimal.
So here we're about to see a series of swag super jumps to get to the boss key and then get out, including a shack jump.
You just skipped half the dungeon there. With that one super jump. And Spice's screen here, if you just plant a bomb here, and then you slash at this top left with his robe, you can kill all 4 of them with a single bomb. And here's our other Dodongo skip.
There's actually...
You would actually be coming from this here. We're going through this dungeon backwards right now.
And we see Happy at skill heads. So Skillheads is our community name for them. He's not having the best luck. So these are.
No, he's not.
These are
Oh,
all
boy.
for chance of opening the door.
Jesus. We're going to recount that, see if he gets record.
No, that was nowhere. I was doing it for a full minute to get my record.
Really? Jesus, man.
34
First
tries.
try on Spice. That helped him out. Good for him. Jeez, man, that's insane.
So
That's our first instance of major RNG in this game, I think. They all come late in the game, unfortunately. Next one is early hookshot in D5.
this is Facade. He's well coded in every game that he's actually in. So his hitbox is there for the time of 3 bombs, even before the boss actually starts. So you can get 3 of the 5 hits in very early.
True, the rupees are actually the first instance. But I guess beyond the rupees, I can't really think of anything that is as significant as horse heads or early hookshot or Goomba Surf or anything like that. A gold from Spice,
I was
probably
getting
because of first
big
try
gold.
horse heads there. Spice is on PB pace by almost 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He keeps this up, he could 121.
Now we do have to remember, even though they look like they're almost neck and neck, Happy's done Rooster Skip while Spice still has that to do.
Yeah. Okay, here is the level 2 sword. When Spice does it, you gotta listen to the sound because it just sounds really awesome. By the way, how quickly that meter goes up is random. Sometimes it can just go up really quickly, sometimes it just slows down. Here you are.
I knew Alpha Phi was not going to let that go in chat. The fact that we completely didn't mention Seagull RNG at Marin. You're still bringing that up. We left it out intentionally.
We'll let Astro mention it, so they're not getting spammed by it all the time. That room can be a little RNG as well on Spice's screen or Happy's screen.
So
Spice is about to do it. He
we're
gets the
coming
good
up.
RNG.
We're coming up on Happy's screen to quite a difficult trick and one that's very RNG dependent. So there's a small key that spawns in this room. Now, if you're able to bring the small key into the next room using the boomerang, and this is 50-50 on whether you can get Happy getting it first try, it will change it into the hook shot. And
Spice getting second try is no good for Spice. He's already behind.
this is RNG. Now, you have to clear the screen of all enemies and pickups. But other than that, it is RNG because it's based on frame rule.
If you pick up the key by mistake, you have to kill all the Master Sulfas. Second try for Spice.
So now Spice is finishing the room again to get the actual key. Now, the reason why this works is that when the Master Stalfos dies, as you'll see on Happy's screen, he drops a small key. Now, he also drops a small key in the last room. Now, the last room is coded to change every small key in that room into a hookshot. So bringing the key in from the previous room basically turns it into a hookshot and says you've got the key for that room.
And then a little, yeah, just some movement to go get the Nightmare Key. Get a little damage boost. If you jump when you're against a like a roof or something underwater, you swim a little bit faster. And here's a hookshot clip. Just like that. You just do kind of specific directions and you spam hookshot and you'll just clip through walls.
I found a way to explain that. So, okay. So that trick works because it's a dream. So physics don't really work.
I guess that makes sense. That explains a lot of things in this game, actually.
It does explain how we can speedrun the game.
So this may be the first instance of a realistic speedrun.
So we didn't mention
Happy not
blue and
getting...
red tunic.
Oh yeah.
Both
these players have red blue tunic. You may think red is faster because it kills things faster. It actually gives this boss invulnerability frames, so you have to slash him slower. We basically get blue tunic because of this boss. It makes the boss faster.
This boss is incredibly
and it saves enough time.
It's incredibly hard to two-cycle this boss with a red tunic compared to blue tunic.
And even if you do two-cycle it, it's still faster two-cycle with blue. Because you can slash faster with blue.
So Spice
is just making so much time.
Ahead of his PB.
And that's with second try.
And that's going to come down to Rooster Skip, but the buffer method is quite consistent.
Fortunately, we don't have Bow Wow in 100%, so Bow Wow adds a whole element of RNG in any percent, because he can just get in the way of your hookshot and screw everything up.
So this is where you're going to see Happy really edge out here, because he's not gonna have to do Rooster Skip because he's already done it. I mean, it's still within the realm of possibility for Happy to PB as well.
Yeah. I mean, the first try or the hookshot really helped him. I guess he maybe got a second try in his PB. He saved quite a bit of time there.
Yeah.
Even with the mistakes on Slime Eel. So here he's just gonna completely bypass the stairs in the next screen, whereas Spice is gonna have to go back up. This is one of the reasons why early Rooster Skip is technically a smidge faster, even though the actual trick itself is slower than doing the hookshot method. Because you're already in the area earlier in the game, it makes it a little bit faster if you get good RNG. It works on the same principle as Villa Skip, where you have to basically pause on the frame that you fall into a pit, and that's why early Rooster Skip works. But he's going to be doing it. Gets one buffer, two buffers, nails it, double firsties. Beautiful. Bufferless Rooster Skip just looks so cool.
So he won't.
It's also amazingly hard to do.
He won't have lost much time over early Rooster Skip with that. It's just I'm getting up to there.
So that really, if Happy had gotten like a really slow early Rooster Skip, the two would have been much closer together. But Happy just happened to get the fastest possible one he could get, that anyone could get.
Although Spice getting the fastest possible non-early Rooster Skip.
Yeah. So basically we just saw the perfect variation of both Rooster Skips in the same run. So we need to kill that Zol on the happy screen. That top left green Zol has to be killed because we're going to be doing bomb triggers instead of throwing a metal ball at these pillars because that's how broken bomb triggers are.
And the reason why we have to kill the Zol is because the Zol counts as an event on that screen. So if you were to if you were to bomb trigger into that room, I believe it would activate the Zol that's sort of hidden in the ground. It would make him spawn rather than bomb the pillar.
Right, so Happy's done the pillars, so he just needs to go get the needs to go do Goomba Surf to get to the boss. And Spice here is going to be doing his pillars. Hopefully he gets some good ones. Nails the first one. Goes up and does Pit instead. He's going to need to do a buffer to equip Feather. Oh, he should have done it there because he maybe. Yeah, I guess it didn't make any difference. He does the shack jump, which is way riskier, but quite a bit faster. Yeah, pretty much perfect triggers. That is, I mean, if he gets first try Goomba Surf, he could actually gold this. I didn't see what try Goomba Surf Happy got. Looked like he was pretty good though.
He took a while to set it up.
Okay.
I didn't see what try he got. So he would have lost time on Goomba Surf.
Alright, let's see what Spice gets. Spice is set up, and he gets not first try.
I think Happy got second try. So this is RNG because you need the Goomba to move in the right direction.
Oh, this is really, really unfortunate. I think it's better if the Goombas don't immediately move to the right spot. They could a little bit later, so it's sometimes better just to wait on the screen and see where it goes. Damn, that is... He's waiting to see. Oh man, this is really, really bad RNG. There we go. And he needs to use boots. How many tries was that?
Lost count.
Yeah.
That's...
I got 15 tries the other day.
That's bad for a PB as well.
Yeah. He's still gonna be ahead of PB, but not by nearly as much now.
So, Happy not saving Marin. Seabass in his race last week did save Marin.
Yeah, you have to be as low as possible when you jump over the bridge. You can also do a trick called Zoomerang. It's a little bit harder to pull off, but it's a bit faster. Most players don't go for it though, because it just does not save enough time to be really worth it. It just looks cool.
There are a lot of people that, well, I don't know if I'd say a lot of people, but some people that don't do Goomba Surf that spend ages trying to do B-hat bonks. Shout out to Matt.
To be fair, that was the only time I've ever seen him have trouble with that.
It only takes one time for people to remember it.
Yeah, it's true. Once you make a mistake once, and if it's big enough, you never live it down. Looks like Spice is going for Zoomerang. He is. Is he gonna do it? He gets it! The Zoomerang! By far the most fun-looking trick in the game. Happy getting another gold. He's only 21 seconds behind PB, so this is good news for both of them. D8 is one of the hardest dungeons to play quickly. It's pretty long, and there's a lot of a lot of things that can lose time. There's also this really annoying room where you basically push a Roomba around, and it's so easy to rush it and just completely screw it up. And the Roomba moves really slowly, and if you screw up once, you have to start the whole room again.
There was a time where literally everyone was screwing up that room.
Really?
Yeah. Like, anyone that ran the game screwed up that room, and for some reason everyone was doing it all at the same time.
Huh. He's making very quick work of D8 right now. Getting perfect jumps across there. Let's see if he gets a 2 buffer. Oh, a 3? Really? Yeah. Oh, that was 2. Alright, so that's a lava swim. If you slash your sword as you transition into lava, you can swim in the lava. Again, well-programmed game. I'm not sure why I put sword there. There we go.
More boomerang shenanigans.
Spice getting another gold. Both of them golding enter D8. Awesome, when done quickly. What is... Oh, he's lining up down there. That's a bookshot. The game prioritizes, I believe, the B button when you press both buttons at the same time. So you can do a jump while using a hookshot at the same time, and that, for whatever reason, gives you this huge burst of speed, and it allows you to clip through the key block and completely skip the key.
So, happy
That
game.
requires a 2-pixel window. Yep. You may still be on gold pace. 15 seconds of time save in this. He's getting a really good D8. Let's see how Hothead goes. Hothead is just a real pain in the ass.
You know, we're speaking about it only takes one mistake for people to remember. It also takes one mistake to make you a living legend. Shouts to Disclude.
Do you wish to explain that one?
Well, Disclude managed to get Hothead stuck on the lava. He would not move, so Disclude had to take one hit of time in the lava, so that he would die. We then later found out if he had spammed the fire on 256 times, it would have killed him.
Really? Like, that's all they have to do?
I know what's worse.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a sound clip of that. Like that became one of the biggest memes in the whole community for a while.
So at this point, the only way for Spice to win is for Happy to really screw up. Fortunately, in Nightmare, well, maybe unfortunately for the runners, Nightmare is very stressful at the end of a run this long in a race environment because there are so many different things that can screw it up. The first thing you have to do is a text skip, which removes music, and it allows us to... Well, first we save time by skipping some text. We do that through a bomb trigger because, you know, bomb triggers are broken. And then we have to do this thing called the blob quick kill, where you position yourself really precisely on one of 2 pixels, and then you place a bomb as the blob lands on your sword. And for whatever reason, that just kills the blob in a few hits with your sword. You don't need any powder. That also allows us to not need to menu to get the powder, which allows the Aghanim Minip to work. So Aghanim, if you position yourself on specific pixels when you reflect a yellow ball back at Aghanim, the next ball will always be a yellow ball. as long as you're in the right position for the next shot. So we have an app, shout out to Spicefather, an app called Ballbuster that allows us to not need to memorize every single possible position to so that we can, every player basically has access to manipulate Aghanim. So you're gonna see here the bomb trigger on Happy's screen. And while that's going on, let's stay silent.
Be silent.
Happy just got the manip perfectly. So he's going to do the Moldorm quick kill, where if you do a spin slash at the right time and then just spam sword, you can just stun lock the Moldorm. And now he's going to be 4-6. Nope, he's going to be doing Death Eye Skip. Okay, so he gets that. I don't know what frame that was. I think that's, yeah, 1 star, 1 select. Or is it 3 starts? 3 starts, okay. So he should be freezing the bat. Yep, he got it. Okay, so that bat is now frozen, and for whatever reason, the game now thinks that after you kill Shadow Lemola, the game just thinks the bat is Death Eye. It turns into Death Eye, but the bat has an HP value of 0, so it just immediately dies, and because the game sees Death Eye die, that must mean you beat Death Eye, and spawns a staircase for you. So there you go, Happy, with a time of 1:20.50, which is a very respectable time.
Spice could still PB.
You can, yeah. Let's get Happy in here for an interview. He's in the waiting room.
He did the face.
Hello.
Hello.
GG. that was a nice.
Yeah, it's a good run for me.
You're
Not
close to
too
me.
proud of it, but much more proud of it than my last 2 races.
And that entire run, that must have been tantalizingly close to your PB.
Really was. I was within range of it for almost the whole time, and then D6, it really started going downhill.
Yeah, your horsehead luck was something that we
brutal.
desired.
And from that point on, I just kind of started playing poorly, but still only 15 seconds away from my PB is...
That early rooster skip was absolutely mind-boggling.
God.
That was literally the fastest you could do it.
But yeah, I mean, if I would have not... I forgot to save my save and quit point before going to unlock D4. I wouldn't have forgotten that. That would have been the gold to end all golds. Because I did the French bonks well, and I got good RNG on the Moblins movement, the entire thing. If I just wouldn't have forgotten the route. But still, an incredible ERS.
Mm-hmm.
And first try at EHS. This run was very nice to me. So, I owe it to RNG.
Several golds. And Spice just got a PB. You got 122.27.
Nice.
Yeah. Saying the game lagged a little bit when his internet dropped.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because there's a possibility they won't be able to submit it.
Well, if he's local recording,
well, it lagged his game locally. He says.
It's
Yikes.
true.
It's a shame.
It's true. We did see it in live, though. I guess the rules are still rules.
I mean, I trust him, but
Yeah, I think everybody here trusts him, but we still gotta follow the rules.
Yeah.
Spicefather.
It says it affected his local plane. Shoot, that's unfortunate. He'll get another one though. If he gets a PB that good, like in a race, he'll easily beat that pretty soon. It's something he could submit.
So, unfortunately, Spice won't be joining us for an interview at the moment.
Oh,
But so happy that early rooster skip.
Yeah, I just I jumped, and usually I open my menu really early because I'm afraid of it. But I just happened to open my menu not only on the right pixel, but I had the correct frame rule that opening it instantly made me fall. And then I was like, am I on the right pixel? So I opened my map once and Link didn't move, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I almost messed up the jump afterward. I would have been so sad if I messed up the jump afterward, but I just barely made it the ledge.
yeah, that second jump on that pixel is a real pain.
Pretty tough, yeah. But I was practicing it. I was thinking about it, and I was practicing that specific jump over and over again earlier, so I guess it paid off.
Yeah.
In fact, both of you had the best possible version of this particular rooster skip.
That's
Because he
awesome.
had double firsties as
Double
well.
first. That's sick.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw some pretty amazing things in this run.
We saw
Yeah.
some horrible RNG, horse heads,
Oh my gosh, that
and
was
then
like 16 or 17, I think.
and Spice had some terrible Goomba RNG as well.
Ah,
Oh yeah, his Goomba Surf RNG was atrocious.
how close was it going into his Goomba Surf? Like how much did it?
Like
Uh,
30, 45 seconds or something.
yeah, you're still comfortably ahead.
Yeah. I
The only
think
time-
if you had gotten worse early Rooster Skip, it would have been a much closer race.
Probably, yeah. And early hook shot, I got first try. I have gotten 3 first try early hook shots in my 3 races, so eternally grateful to the Windfish for that.
Spice got second try.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, he did. He got first try horse heads though, and
Mhm.
gold at D6, I think.
Nice.
Did he gold D6? Yeah, he gold at D6.
Yeah, I think so.
Plenty of golds. I think
Yeah.
3 could have, like I said, that enter D4 gold could have been 15 seconds if I had just not forgotten the
Jeez.
route, but still, you know.
That would have PB'd though. That would have been enough for a PB, like by a second.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
PB by a second. You know, I have a PB when I was still like in the 123 area. I got a PB by 0.5 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Did it even roll over to a new second? Like, could you have even submitted it?
No,
Did
it didn't
improving
even roll over to a new second.
From a
It was the
36.8
same.
to a 36.3.
Yeah. It was still, yeah, it was just like almost exactly 0.5 seconds. It was crazy. It happens.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
sure.
know times can get really close to other times, as your race last week showed.
Yeah, I
I mean,
remember.
and yesterday between Glyph and I, we were only 13
That was a
seconds
good
off.
one. Had a lot of really close races. So
Yeah.
far in this tournament.
It really shows, like we were talking last night, like it shows that even in a category like with as much randomness as Hundo, races can still be really close.
True, because
it really comes down to the final fight that really actually ends up deciding things most of the time.
yeah, it's true. It all like as long as the runners are within, even 30 seconds of each other, it really can't like Ethel Skip or Aghanim Manip can
Yeah.
decide it. So it's exciting all the way through. It's a fun run to
And
watch.
You can kind of see like how the runners' PBs actually kind of really do show like who's most likely to win, but also by how much.
Mm.
Like Saga's is just clobbering everybody. His PB is so far ahead of
Wiping
second
everyone
place.
out. It's like, what? This is the
But then-
tournament for second place, aka the tournament
Yeah.
for who gets to fight Sagas in the grand finals.
And like Glyph and I, our PBs are within 30 seconds, and our
Mhm.
race was within 30 seconds. So like it
We get-
shows like this.
as we get deeper into the Swiss rounds and people with the same amount of wins get paired up with, similar skill levels, we get better and better races. So hopefully should make round 4 the most exciting.
Except for people that face Sagas.
Yeah, Glyph is fighting Sagas because
Oh,
he
boy.
won yesterday's race. It would have been either me or Sagas or Glyph fighting Sagas. I really wanted to fight him, but we'll see. Maybe in the elimination rounds.
Yeah, keep playing well, and you will get a chance, almost definitely.
Hopefully.
You
Yeah.
just
I mean, you kind of hope you lose a race somewhere so you don't have to race Sagas.
Well, the thing is, like, now I have to actually try in the next race
Aw.
to try and win. Whereas with against Sagas, like, I'm still gonna try, but I know if I screw up, it's not really gonna matter.
Right.
Whereas in the next race, now it's gonna matter because I'm probably gonna be paired up against somebody who is around similar skill. Probably if it's Xander, it's probably gonna be the closest race because he and I also have PBs within 30 seconds.
Excited to
We'll
see how next round shakes out. It's a real definitive
Yeah.
one. We'll know.
I think how many wins is this for you?
That is numero uno.
Numero. Oh, okay. So we're definitely not getting paired next round. Who are the Yeah, I looked at the possibilities yesterday. Anybody who has 2 wins and 1 loss has a chance of being paired against me. So it could either be Nitro's, or wait, Nitro still needs to do his run, I think. Did he do his run already?
I just did a run on Sunday.
Sunday, okay, so I could be paired with Nitros, I could be paired with M-Chan if he wins, or Olos if he wins, or Bamboo.
So be all
even
good,
Ryan.
all good races.
Seisei is another possibility. Like, all these players, like, if any of them win, then, that's who I could be paired against.
Got some good races coming up still in the 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
Spear,
we got
M-Chan tomorrow, and
I'm looking forward to Seisei and Olos.
yeah, it should be a
Yeah,
good
that's
one.
gonna be a good one. 2 top level French runners.
I mean,
And Seisei PB'd last night. He got a 118.20 something, I think. He actually beat Black's time, so he's now sitting in 2nd place. Yeah. Anyway, any more comments?
Not really. The usual. Thanks CSR for hosting, and thank you guys for commentating. Get it an enjoyable tourney to watch so far.
Yeah.
GG, both runners, Spice and Happy. Well done from both of you.
Thank you.
Let me extend my thanks as well to Cravon and Zinthro for letting me sit here and do nothing and just they run the whole thing. Great job, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Mention that more LADX tomorrow with Spearstir and M-Chan. And then Thursday, Seisei and Olos, as well as Astro and Seabass. Also, coming up later on ZSR, we got a couple of Link to the Past Cross Keys matches and the Z2 Rando weekly race later tonight. So, just check any final thoughts before we head out.
Nothing here
Sir.
for me.
All good for me.
All right, with that, thank you everybody for being here, and until next time, have a nice day, all. See y'all soon.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
Cheers.